Red Bull Racing have just let go Christian Horner. This is huge. What on earth is going on at Red Bull? As of recording this, there is yet to be an official announcement from Red Bull Racing, but it's been reported by everyone but Red Bull. Now, the news articles do seem to suggest that this is because of a string of bad performances from the Red Bull team, but Christian's been in this role for 20 years. He joined the team back in 2005 as their first team principal, and he's their only team principal today, and the longest serving team principal in F1's history. So this is a massive decision that Red Bull are taking here. And Christian's been one of the most successful team principals too. 6 Constructors' Championships and 8 Drivers' Championships. And let's be honest, they've brought in some of the most talented drivers that F1 has ever seen. I mean, nearly half the grid at this point owe their career to Red Bull's junior program. But to do this mid-season is really the Red Bull way, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest, they swap their drivers all the time mid-season, so swapping out team principals makes a lot of sense too. Now, as for who will replace Christian, it's going to be the VCARB team principal, Laurent Mekies, who was with Ferrari for a long time in a technical role, and then he's been the team principal of VCARB for about 1.5 years, or was it 2.5 years? It might be 2.5 years. But he's now been promoted from VCARB to Red Bull, just like Liam Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda were. But here's hoping that he won't have a similar career to Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson in the Red Bull seat. So the managing director of Red Bull, Oliver Mintzlaff, said, "We would like to thank Christian Horner for his exceptional work over the last 20 years. With his tireless commitment and experience, expertise and innovative thinking, he has been instrumental in establishing Red Bull Racing as one of the most successful and attractive teams in Formula One. Thank you for everything, Christian. You will forever remain an important part of our team." Now that's an interesting quote, isn't it? We're sacking you, but thank you for everything. Now, according to a lot of these news articles, this is because of bad performance by the Red Bull team that we've been seeing since sort of the mid-24 season when McLaren become the top team. And I feel like Max Verstappen has been really flattering that team. I honestly think that if Max wasn't in the Red Bull car pulling out these performances like he has been this year and last year, we'd probably be thinking of Red Bull as one of the worst teams on the grid. Just imagine for a moment that the 2 drivers at the start of this year were Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson. In that car, they probably would have barely scored any points. Whereas Max has been winning, getting pole positions, multiple podiums. So while yes, Red Bull have had some very poor performances recently, maybe there's more to this. There were, of course, those allegations of inappropriate behaviour made against him in February of 24 by a female colleague, but these were dismissed during the summer. And of course, Horner denied all of the allegations. But whether or not what claimed to happen actually happened or not, it was hugely damaging to not just Christian, but Red Bull's reputation as well. Particularly in this 2025 culture. Of course, if you've got a male boss taking advantage of a younger female employee, that's really not going to look well in the news. And let's be honest, it dominated headlines in the early part of 24. Now, personally, I think it maybe is a bit of both. Maybe it's a bit of bad performance and a bit of this. But honestly, I just cannot believe that this is happening. There is also the issue of there being so many high-ups in Red Bull that have left in recent years. Of course, the biggest one being Adrian Newey, who's now at Aston Martin. He played a vital role in all of Red Bull's championships. So much so that people talked about Adrian Newey as being the most important man in Formula One. And with good reason. Adrian Newey is one of the most incredible people that Formula 1 has ever seen. His car design is legendary. No one even comes close to his CV when it comes to Formula 1 championships. So him leaving was a massive, massive deal. And then Jonathan Wheatley, their sporting director, has also left to become Sauber's team principal, as well as a bunch of other people that have jumped ship. There's a few gone to McLaren, a few gone to Ferrari. So Red Bull's performances are dropping off. There's a scandal around Christian Horner, and they are hemorrhaging all of their employees. So it is quite clear to see why Red Bull have made this decision. So where does this leave Red Bull going forward? I think the big talking point now is going to be, what is Max Verstappen going to do? Let's be honest, Max would pretty much have his pick of teams. If he went calling up the other teams, I'm sure that people would find a seat for him. There are those very heavy rumours with him going to Mercedes, and maybe this is part of it. Horner's leaving. He's got no one left at that team really, apart from Helmut Marko. So maybe there is something more to those Mercedes rumours that we've been hearing. This news comes just days after the British Grand Prix as well. And this is going to be taken as a media effect, so Christian will not be at the next race. As for who will be taking Laurent Mekies' place as the VCARB team principal, that is yet to be released. If the news has come out between me editing this video and uploading it, I'll put it up here, whoever it's going to be, and I'll record a reaction too. Oh my god, I can't believe that this person is the new VCARB team principal. Can you imagine it's Christian Horner? They've just done a Red Bull and swapped the team principals. I can't imagine Christian would take that job, I'll be honest. I think his ego wouldn't allow him to be the B team's team principal. So what does Christian do now? I mean, honestly, I imagine he's made a very pretty penny from his time at Red Bull, so I would have thought just go and retire. But what about Cadillac? Now, obviously, they do have a team principal lined up in Graham Loden, but if Christian Horner has become available, one of the most successful team principals in F1's history, could Cadillac look at maybe getting Christian involved? Maybe not as team principal, but it could be as sort of an advisor role, maybe like a Helmut Marko type of position where he's just sort of there in the background looking like Darth Vader. Either way, I think it is a bit of a shame for Christian to be leaving. I know he's not everyone's favourite character, and he's not my favourite character either, but he is still a huge part of Formula One's history. I mean, who would have thought an energy drink company coming into racing would be as successful as they have been? Obviously, I'm a huge F1 fan, but if I ever hear Red Bull mentioned, I think the team, not the drink. But maybe that's just me. If I'm Laura Mekies, honestly, I'm just coming in and hoping to see the season out with as little drama as possible. I don't think there's going to be too much pressure on where the car performs because ultimately it's already in the middle of the season. There's not too much that he's going to be able to do. And Lauren's big task now is going to be give as much money and as many Red Bull cans as you possibly can to Max Verstappen to stop him from leaving. Otherwise, the Red Bull lineup we're going to get next year will probably be Liam Lawson and Isaac Hadjar. I don't think Yuki's going to be there next year, not because I think he's a bad driver, but just because the whole Honda drama. I've made other videos about that. But I'm calling it now. In about a week's time, we're going to have the announcement of Max Verstappen going to Mercedes. I really thought that Silverstone, Georgia's home race, Mercedes are going to announce him there. I thought that they were just sort of delaying it to get the news talking about them, like everyone wants to be in the headlines, right? But drivers normally get announced as their contract extending at their home race, and the fact that George didn't have it extended is a bit alarming. So maybe Max was already signed and maybe Red Bull have been made aware of this and they're sort of blaming Christian for it. I don't know, it's just speculation on my part. Either way, this is huge news. Obviously, this is a shame for Christian. I think he's, like I said, it's a big part of Formula One's history. But you can see why this has happened. I mean, Red Bull are now 4th in the constructors. Their 2 other drivers, Liam Lawson and Isaac Hadjar, are just drowning in that second Red Bull seat. Max is the only one who can seemingly get a hold of it, and even now, sometimes he doesn't seem to be able to. I was just reading an article on The Sun, and apparently he's paid £12 million per year. Christian, if I was you, go and buy a house next to the beach, sunbathe every day, drink out of coconuts, go and enjoy being away from the crazy world that is Formula 1. You've been in there long enough, man. But let me know your guys' thoughts on this down in the comments. Good idea, bad idea? Is Red Bull going to come back? Are they going to be even worse? How is Mekies going to do? Who's going to replace Mekies at the VCARB team principal role? Will Max Verstappen join Mercedes? There are so many talking points ahead of this news. And if you're new here, drop a sub to the channel. Weekly F1 content, news, race reviews, fun videos, a bit of everything, honestly. I am quite new to this, so I'm still trying to find the format that I enjoy doing, but we've got a really good community of subscribers so far, so make sure you join along. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Also, VCARB, if you're watching this, I am currently unemployed, so if you want a team principal, my salary will only be $11 million, not 12.